Here's a question you might be asking yourself. Should you still become an artist in 2025? Listen, you're not too late, and no, AI hasn't made you useless. But today, I want to tell you exactly why becoming an artist in 2025 still matters, and why your art is more important now than ever. So, grab your pencil or stylus and draw along with me as we really dig into this topic.
Let's be honest for a second. Right now, I feel like we're in the weirdest era for artists. AI can spit out gorgeous images in seconds. Your feed is full of insanely polished work, and algorithms decide if your drawing even gets seen. If you're just starting out, it can feel hopeless. Like everyone else has a massive head start. But here's the truth. None of that cancels out your art. The tools, the trends, the tech, it can all be noise. What still matters is the person behind the pen. And that's you. Let's talk about the pressure, because I know you feel it. I definitely feel it. Everywhere you look, someone's better, someone's faster, someone's younger and already making it. Social media has turned art into this endless race where you always feel like you're behind. You post a drawing you're proud of, 10 likes. Someone else posts a sketch of a potato and a sword and it gets like 10,000 likes. And you're just sitting there and you're like, what am I doing wrong? Here's the deal. The game feels rigged because it kinda is. Algorithms reward consistency, not necessarily creativity. The art that blows up isn't always the best. It's the most visible. And most of us are just trying to get better. Now, maybe you're thinking, isn't the market already full? Aren't there too many artists? No. That's a talking point a lot of people think about, no matter what it is that they're trying to get into. And it's usually a myth. It feels saturated because we're all plugged into the same online art bubble. But outside their bubble, there's so many people that haven't found you yet. People don't want more art. They want art that feels like it was made for them, something that they can respond to and feel connected to. And no matter how many talented artists exist, nobody sees the world exactly like you do. Your humor, your culture, your weird obsessions with robot swords or magical raccoons, that your fingerprint. There's always room for a new voice, and yours matters. And then, yeah, of course, we're gonna have to talk about AI. I know it's scary. I know it feels like it's taking over everything. And yeah, AI art is fast. Sometimes beautiful and yeah, definitely disruptive. But here's the secret. AI can make images, but it can't make art. It doesn't struggle, it doesn't grow, it doesn't care. It just predicts what pixels to put where. You care. You feel. You decide what story to tell, what flaws to keep, what mood to chase. You make choices that reflect your personality, your anxiety, your humor, and sometimes your heartbreak. That's pretty much art. People don't follow you for perfection. They follow you because something in your work feels human, feels real, feels like something they can connect to. And AI, it can do a lot of incredible things. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that it can create amazing, gorgeous, beautiful images. It can. It definitely can. But what's different is that it can't create anything new. It can't, for instance, ask AI to create an image in the style of Van Gogh, but if he managed to live to the year 70. It doesn't know how to do that. It can't replicate the new. It can only replicate what's come before. Even if you never post online, even if you never go pro, art is still worth it. Drawing helps you untangle your brain. It lets you say things without words. It's a place where you can be fully yourself. No filters, no expectations. You ever draw something and you just feel better after? That's the magic. That's the therapy. Even if nobody claps for it, it still gave you something valuable. Art isn't just a career path. It's a coping mechanism. It can be a daily ritual, a quiet rebellion against just the insane chaos of life. Look, I get it. You want to be good. You want recognition, maybe even to make money with your art. And all of that, that's totally valid. But don't let the numbers define your value. 100 likes doesn't mean it's better than a sketchbook page that helped you push through a rough day. Success is not always visible. In growth, it happens in silence, behind the scenes, in the drawings no one ever sees. You're not behind. You're just building something meaningful, and that takes time. Take your favorite artist, a professional that has many years of success behind them. You've only ever seen their polished works, the works that they're okay to share with the rest of the world. What you don't see are the struggles, the mistakes, the things that frustrated them for many, many years before they finally figured it out. And that's kind of the magic behind it. It's those challenges, those sessions of sitting down with a sketchbook and try to work something out. And when you finally do, it may not be the piece that you share with everyone. But when you make that change, that discovery, that eureka moment, that's amazing. That's magical. That's kind of why you do it. Here's something people don't say enough. You don't necessarily have to turn your art into a career. And I know this one's a tough one. For a lot of us, when we get into drawing, the very first thing that we imagine for ourselves is that we're going to be able to pay our bills, build a life around art, and it's going to be this amazing, beautiful, magical career. But that's not necessarily the case. You don't need a Patreon and Etsy, a full commission sheet to call yourself an artist. You can draw just because you like doing it. You can post sometimes, you can post never. You can make fan art for your own joy. That doesn't make you any less legit. Not every passion needs a monetization strategy. Not everything you do needs to be a side hustle. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is to keep it as a hobby. Something that's just yours and for creative expression, but not necessarily anything that you have some sort of expectation or milestone of success attached to. And you know what the world doesn't have enough of? People who care, people who express, people who observe and reflect and imagine. People like artists. In a world obsessed with speed and output and profit, being an artist is kind of like a rebellion these days. You're purposely slowing down. You're choosing intention rather than trends. You're creating something from nothing. And whether that's a sketch of your favorite anime character or a full-blown comic based on an autobiography, all of it matters. Because when you make art, you're giving people something to feel. And that's powerful. So maybe you're thinking, okay, sure, but I'm just suck and I'm not there yet. Listen, nobody starts off good. Your first 100 drawings, they're probably going to be bad. I know mine were. Your next 100, slightly better. I know mine wasn't. And then somewhere along the way, you'll draw something and realize, wait, that actually works. That kind of looks cool. Growth is slow, it's awkward, but every artist you admire started exactly where you are now. Unsure, inconsistent, and probably hating their own work. You're just gonna have to keep going long enough to surprise yourself. What if instead of chasing perfection, you chase joy? What if you treated drawing like playing instead of performance? What if you sketched just to explore, tried a weird style, drew your favorite game characters in ridiculous poses? What if you forgot about followers and focused on fun? Because here's the truth. The artists who stick around aren't always the most talented. They're the ones who found a way to fall in love with the process. So, should you still become an artist in 2025? I don't think anyone's shocked with my conclusion, but yeah, 100 times yes. Because if you're even asking that question, it means there's something inside you that wants to create. And that spark, that's all you need to start. The world will always change. Tools will change. Platforms will change. But the heart of art, your unique perspective, that's timeless.
So yeah, if no one's told you this today, I believe in your art. Not because it's perfect, but because it's yours. And that's something no AI, no algorithm, and no comparison can ever take away. That's why I always sign off my videos by saying, until next time, keep going.